Hey y'all, what up, what up, what up? It's your girl, Miss Indigo Blue. I am starting today's stream here on Facebook, and then I have to share it out on Facebook, and then I'll start the stream on both YouTube and Instagram. So give me just a moment here. I was only able to put it in one page here today. And then it's doing the most. So if you're able to tune in, grab something to drink, a little popcorn. This is going to be a weekly reading, so we'll be here for a moment. And this is going to be just like last Thursday's live. What bridge are we crossing? And I keep hearing the song Say Goodbye to Yesterday. It's so hard, right? In my head. So that is why it is the title of this video. Shoot. I can feel my nose starting to run for some reason. So craziness there. So one more place for, why is it telling me to leave? For Facebook, and then we'll get started on everything. I'm gonna go ahead and light this hollow real quickly just to clear any previous energy, because we are looking forward into the next week. Say hi if you are out there. I'm going to be able to see your comments on the screen today on Facebook, as long as you are watching the main source of the video, which would be right here on my page, with my name on it. So I'm trying to, this computer is acting like it doesn't want to post it to my page for whatever reason. It made me switch profiles and everything. So anyway, I'm just going to keep going because it'll be here. And if I have to post it later, hey Tanisha, then I will post it later. So y'all here right now, I'm not about to keep making y'all wait. I'm going to go ahead and start Instagram before I give y'all this quick little message about Facebook and Instagram. All right, so it's checking the connection for Instagram. All right, so we're live on both Facebook and Instagram right now. We will be live on YouTube in just a moment. This is just a reminder that when I hold the cards up on Facebook and Instagram, that they will be backwards. So if you want to see things in its proper orientation, then find the Zen Mother's Garden page on YouTube, and then it'll be in the correct orientation there. So I'm starting that live, and then we will be able to go. Okay, there's a piece of candle, the little black tips on the candle, and it somehow has gotten, must have been from the Palo, everywhere. So it's smearing. All right, y'all. So we are live everywhere. What up? I'm Miss Indigo Blue. I thank you so much for stopping through. As you see, the title of today's message is Say Goodbye to Yesterday. The song has been playing in my head over and over and over this morning. And I've been saying back to it, no, it's not. No, it's not. So we're going to get into why it's not. I feel like that is the message that wants to come through for the week of June 2nd through the 8th. If you missed the video for this week, it has been posted. It was live in several places, and then it is still hanging around on YouTube and Facebook. So you can find the Zen Mother's Garden pages in either of those locations and get that message. We also did a full moon reading for this weekend, so that is out there. Yesterday I posted monthly Venus readings, so for your love, money, and time, and that was a pick a card message that I am re-editing because somehow a couple of the clips got switched around in orientation, and so they are now being uploaded as we speak so that message can come through properly for the people who chose pile number 1. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and finish clearing the air and welcome in energies of earth, air, fire, and water. Let us create a life of beauty, reverence, and wonder. With each season, let us rejoice. Through every phase of sun and moon, let us be in harmony. In every direction shall we offer our love. Great Spirit, Mother Creator, bless this earth through my life. Source of all nourishment, we seek to replenish your sacred world. Guide us now through these images, words, and feelings within as we reach into the wholeness. Let all that is needed be known. So again, this is going to be a what bridge are we crossing for next week? Oh, y'all, that song, Say Goodbye to Yesterday. And they say it's so hard. But you know what Spirit has been telling me today? It's only hard if you haven't decided on a purpose for today and tomorrow. Because if you are focused on today and what's going on in your future, you're not going to be worried about what happened yesterday. You're not going to be thinking about what happened yesterday. You are going to know that yesterday is in the past, and that's where yesterday belongs, in the past. Be thankful and happy for all the things that happened in the days of old, because they got you to where they are today. But they don't really matter as much as right now and where you're going to. So, and I just heard another song. Do you know where you're going to? Hey, Diana Ross, what? So, do you know where you're going to? One thing, y'all, I do not like what my reflection looks like on this Facebook screen. So hopefully it doesn't really look like that. I'm going to come back and look. But do you know where you're going to? Last week, we were guided to this week decide on a purpose if we didn't already have one. Hey, Lisa, decide on what your purpose is, right? Because some of us are like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel like I'm not supposed to be doing this. I thought I was supposed to be doing that. And I just can't get a grip or a grasp on what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. I know I have so much to offer, right? Because you have so much to offer this world, and you just feel like you don't know where to begin. And that makes so much sense because the energy of the planet is changing. The energy of the people on the planet are then changing with it. And things are getting to a place where a lot of people are saying, I don't have to accept that. I don't have to just make that be what it is for me because that's what somebody else said it was. But discipline is still necessary. And I think that once you decide your course of action, disciplining yourself in a manner that keeps you committed to that course of action is key. So it's different when you are applying the discipline upon yourself than when you feel like somebody else is forcing their opinion or their way of doing something upon you, right? It feels totally different. And so we have to take that and say, I am my own boss. Whether, I'm telling myself, get up and go to work and go do this job that somebody else is telling me to do, I still am the force and the factor in that is saying, get up and go do it. I could be that force that says, nah, I don't want to. I'm tired. I don't feel like it. I'm this. And I could decide to either give into what feels wrong or right for me in the moment. I could also take a look and say, okay, is this going to benefit me in the long run? If I don't do this in this moment, am I worried about the long run or am I worried about today? It's going to be different for every single person. So I'm going to go ahead and take these Earth Magic cards and see what energies are at play this coming week, June 2nd through June 8th for the collective. And the 3 cards that we got are bam, 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 full moon, and it is backwards on YouTube. So I wasn't expecting that. So sorry, y'all. Full moon, which means to me, nope. All right, so I won't have a recording of this one. That will be in the right orientation. Full moon. And lo and behold, it is the foreshadow of the full moon. This full moon this weekend is going to be in Sagittarius. Again, we talked about, hey Keisha, how Sagittarius is full of energy. They make the most awesome first impressions. They can light up the darkest of rooms. So that is what this is speaking to today. Not necessarily that you need to go light up a room. Maybe you need to light up the fire within yourself. There's something that needs to be lit, something that needs that spark of energy, something that you have been neglecting and something that you probably haven't been focusing on that is very important to you, but it's also probably very vital to your happiness. Like when I'm not doing this, I just don't feel like myself, And so if you have been neglecting something in your life that doesn't seem like it wants to go away, right? So it's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Is there a piece of yesterday that should be actually going into today and future? We don't have to throw everything away when we say goodbye to yesterday. Some of those things are going to serve us today and in the future. You just have to decide which of those things are serving you and working for you and will continue to do so. The next card that we have is this breach whale card. So whenever I see this card, I always feel like there's going to be a split, a division, or a contract that either you're going to break, terminate, or could possibly fall through. So if there's something that probably you went into contract in recently, it would mean that you most likely started that contract during retrograde, and it just may not hold itself up. So be wary if something has been kind of taking longer to process than it normally would. It might be that the contract might not come through as planned originally, but it's an opportunity to redraw the contract. And if something actually wasn't going in your favor, then you might have an opportunity to create a new contract that will actually go in your favor. And that might be a very specific message to someone else, for someone out there. But the breach and the whale, again, there's something that needs to be severed. There's something that is dead weight or is like an old ball and chain. If you want to fully rise like a phoenix into a new life form, a new you, and feel new miraculous ways, then sometimes we have to cut off old thoughts, old patterns, old friendships, old locations, and just move into a new place where we have fresh new soil. That way you can build yourself up from the ground. Nobody there knows you, so they don't have any idea of who you are, which is good for some people. And for some people, it's just like, dang, I'm kind of an introvert. I don't really know how to get out and meet new people, and I don't know anybody here. What do I do? And it'll be a test, how you show up in the new space is going to set a precedence to how people react to you in the new space. So if you, at the end of this last journey that you were on, if you didn't really like the way that you felt like people responded to you, say for instance, you got to a position where you felt used, and we're going to talk about that, or you got to a position where you felt tired and worn out, like whatever you just did, it zapped you completely. So you're like, I know I don't want to do that again. It could have still been very prosperous and very fulfilling for you, but it just still took a toll either on you mentally or physically. So how do we continue this prosperous and abundant course of action without depleting all of our energy. And one thing I have to say about it, it can be very much mental. You can look and you can say, I helped this person, this person, this person, this person, that person to get where they were going. And there was nobody helping me. There was nobody on my team. There was nobody in my corner. You know, we're hearing that a lot right now, that the people feel kind of aid out at the end of the course that they were just on. But it's all about how you look at it. If you stop and realize that that was your destiny at that moment in time, was to get those people into a better position. Some people say, but yeah, at the sacrifice of me now feeling like I'm chasing my own tail. Why do you have to look at it that way? If you utilized all of this energy in an outpouring, then you realize that energy is only exchanged, and you can pull it back. You can bring it back to yourself. You can retrieve all of your energy. Start getting up with the sun, going outside and letting that sun beam down on you. You will feel the energy actually just pouring into your body. And if your mind is saying, I am retrieving all of my energy because now I need it for me, right? I need it for me. I need my happiness. I need my wisdom. I need my knowledge. I need everything that was my soul's original essence that makes me the person who I'm able to be for everybody else. I need to now retrieve that energy so I can be that person for me. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not being selfish. That's self-love. You're not being greedy. That's self-love. And if you don't love yourself, then you are, again, teaching people how not to love you as well, to find you and take you for granted and to steal. That's what it feels like, right? Stealing all of my energy, stealing all of my stuff when actually you gave it away. But it could have just been that it was your time to uplift other people. And if you keep it in a proper perspective instead of letting it be something that brings negative feelings to you, then it's going to awaken you. It's going to lift you up in spirit. It's going to make you feel good. I did all that. What? I did all that. And it didn't take me out of here. Because you know, a lot of people who bend over backwards for other people, because you probably didn't do that. You probably weren't bending all the way over backwards. Like, you had limitations, right? You had boundaries set so that it wouldn't deplete you. But for those who allow it to deplete themselves, they don't see today and tomorrow. They gone because they suck themselves completely up out of here. You are still here. You're still here to live. And we could say fight, but fight another day. Do we have to be warriors all the time? Let's not have to be a warrior right now. I did all that hard work and helped all them people. And even though I know those people are not the same people that can help me, there's somebody coming. There's some energy coming. Whether it's the force of money, the force of time, there's something coming because I'm due and I'm here and I'm ready to receive it. So what are you ready to receive? This card says dream time. This is the creation card. This card is saying to you, dream it up big, because whatever it is that is coming to you is unfathomable. What's that word? Unfathomable. It's bigger than you think it is. You are bigger than you think you are. You have more influence than you think you have. Half of why you're influence is not going in the manner that you want it to, is because you put it out there with great intention and then you start thinking negatively about it. Like, I've had so many people say, you know, I started this business with the intention of doing this and helping this group of people, and then it just became so overwhelming because this, and this happened. And it's like, when you say this, and this happened, it's like throwing these blankets on top of all the goodness that was actually happening and covering up. So when you go back to look and find that was so good, your why, your reason why you were doing all this, you got to come and pull all these blankets up. You got to dig a hole in a ditch to find it. You buried everything that was good, and then you wanted to work in your favor, and you can't even see it, you can't feel it, you can't touch it, because you done put all of these negative thoughts and all these downplaying energies on top of it. Don't downplay how strong your energy is and how strong and effective you are. If it was your time to serve others, it was just your time to serve others, and know that that is okay. And if you stood up to that test and you did that, don't cover it up with garbage. Don't bury it with dirt. Let it be something that you can be loud and proud about having done. So now we're going to go ahead and see this bridge that we're crossing. We're going to use this Medicine Woman Tarot deck to pull out the cards for this portion of the reading. This deck has already been shuffled, and the bridge that we are crossing is going to tell us where we're currently at and what we are currently experiencing, which bridge we're going to cross, and what will be experienced while crossing that bridge, the purification needed, or what is taking place in order to cross the bridge, the creative focus that's needed to cross the bridge, what must be scrutinized, and then the outcome. So the first card that we're going to pull is going to speak on, and it jumped right straight out, the current energy. And I think this was the current energy for last week. Blend. The Temperance card. Again, Sagittarius energy. And we know that that Sagittarius full moon is right here. It's right here. It's coming. And so creating balance. Again, where are you applying yourself too much? For those of you who feel like you were helping too many people, then you couldn't help yourself. Now it's time to pull again some of that energy back and start helping yourself. This could be something in, again, your finances, where you had that ebb and flow off, your ins and outs weren't quite meeting up. And then, you know, it can be general energy exchanges, and it could be in love. It can be in any source of your life. If there's something that's speaking to you in your mind right now that says, yeah, I've been doing too much of this. I've been doing too much laying around. It's time for me to get up and move my butt and get out here and see what's happening in the world, because I done become so out of touch. That could be somebody's story. Somebody can be saying, I've been crying too much. I've been allowing myself to get too sad, and it's time for me to go out and have some fun. Somebody could be saying, I got all these bills and it's too much. Let me figure out how to take my assets, consolidate them into one thing. So I've got one little payment that I got to worry about every month, and then I can take the rest of my money and do what I want to do with it, because we are not living to work. We are working to live. Let's make that clear, right? So if you are here and you have a life that is granted to you, then you are supposed to enjoy it, and not just being, not just sustaining, not just, you know, being able to make ends meet and then can't even enjoy your time or your moment at the end of the day. If you wearing yourself out during the week and then having to sleep all weekend only to wear yourself out again next week, maybe something needs to change. How can you work smarter? How can you be more efficient in what you're doing and develop ways that will help you to create balance? The bridge that we are crossing . Hey, ice cold comedian. The bridge that we are crossing this week is the Apprentice of Pipes. So when we look at this card, it looks like this is someone either teaching themselves karate, but she's got like get in shape girl. Remember that old Barbie doll with the blue outfit and the leg warmers? She got on what looks like ballet shoes and tied up. Like she's trying to teach herself a craft. And so we see here in the back that there is like the essence of a bird also surrounding her, which means that this is something that she's been spiritually guided to do. And again, there's the essence of having ignored the things that we were spiritually guided to do because of the things that we feel like this world is almost forcing us to do. And if we are allowing ourselves to do just what we are being forced to do, then it takes away a lot of our natural creative skills and our feminine energy, because we're forcing ourselves to work in a box. When you go out and you are working on someone else's terms, they're putting you in a box. This is what you can do. This is what you can't do. This is what you can say. This is what you can't say. And so you are limited as to what you can do. And some employers or some neighborhoods, because you might have a HOA where you live and they telling you what you can have on your front yard and what color your house can be. I mean, it's not just work, right? It can be anything that's kind of keeping you in a box and not allowing you to explore your creativity. So it seems like for a lot of people, the bridge that is going to be crossed is getting to your creativity and maybe learning a new craft. So if you decided that this week that your purpose was going to be blah, 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 it might be necessary for you to take some classes to learn how to do what it is that you actually want to do on a business level or on a different level than what you've been doing it before. If it's something that you just know how to do, then again, you might not know how to project it out to the world and make it say what you want it to say, because part of Sagittarius energy is also making sure that you are received in the way that you want to be received, as well as that Gemini energy that is playing right now, because, they get that Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde reputation. And so if you're putting your creation out into the world and then the way that it's being displayed or received is not the way that you are intending, then how are you reacting to that? Are you getting upset? Are you flying off the handle? No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I'm trying to do. That's not what I'm trying to say. Or are you saying, okay, this is being received incorrectly. So what is it that I'm doing that is causing this to be projected out in the wrong way? And then allowing yourself to come back and rewrite the story. So for some people, this is going to be the first time that you expose yourself to something that could be worldwide. And so it's going to be scary, and it could be that you haven't done it for so long, for so many reasons. But this one reason that you are giving yourself to hold on to is the reason why you're like, I can't hold this back anymore. You're going to have to really stay focused on that one reason, your why. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And it can't be something outside of you, because it's not going to force you to go into an arena where you have to learn, where you have to grow. It's just too easy for us to stay in yesterday, because yesterday might have been comfortable. If yesterday was uncomfortable, then it might be easy for us to jump in today, but it doesn't mean that we don't still find it easy to kind of lay back on yesterday, if that makes sense. Because Yesterday is still familiar. Tomorrow is unknown, right? So look at yesterday, today, and tomorrow of not being actual days, but being actual courses in your life. The course that you were on in the past, the course that you are on now, that's going to lead you towards a different course in the future. Do you want the course that you are on right now to lead you forward into a new vision, or to take you back to the ways of old? And I know I just heard somebody say yesterday that what days of old weren't too bad. I get that. But does it grow you? Does it depict the you of today? Just because you had fun in the old days and you were able to get out and you were able to do more, is that really something that's in alignment with who you are at this point and what you are planning to do in the future? If it is, then hey, figure out a way to circle back in a new way. But if it's not, then what do you need to stop and learn? How do you need to grow in your current cycle so that you can get to the change? And I just heard, sometimes people just don't want to be the student. Sometimes it's just hard to give up the wheel, to let somebody else drive, to learn because you've been the boss, or and we also talked about this in the previous reading. But it's just an opportunity to get into a new room, to be a new light, to have something new shed upon you, and to be open and to receive the thought. I never thought about that. I think that many people will have those moments in these next coming days where they never thought about that aspect of what they were doing and how beneficial it could be to what they're already doing, that would skyrocket what they're doing into the next level. So let's see here. That which will be experienced when the bridge is crossed. What will you experience when this bridge is crossed? Now, we just said we're going to bump into some things that turn on the light bulbs, make the light bulbs go ding, right? Oh, that's probably too many cards. Let me see how many it is. Oh, yeah. With a whole lot of cards. We don't want that. There we go. We got the Four of Pipes in reverse. So if you are familiar with tarot and you're not familiar with, pipes, this would be Wands in a regular tarot card. And Wands is stability. When you are in the upright with the Four of Wands, you are in a situation where everything feels safe and secure. So for this card to be coming upside down, it's saying it's time to get out of your comfort zone. It's time to break free from your cage. It's time to break free from your cave. Wherever you've been hiding yourself at these four corners, remember that box that you were in? This is that box that you were in. It's time for you to break free and cut loose from that box. So if you're watching this and you are saying, "No, I like my box. My box is comfortable. It's cozy. I like it. I know I'm supposed to be doing such and such." Don't keep sitting there until you have to make a decision or one is made for you. This is your opportunity to get out ahead of it. And if you're hearing this and feeling this right now, you know exactly what it is that's keeping you stuck. You know exactly what it is. You may not want to admit it to yourself, but you've already said it to yourself in your head what it is. Oh, yeah, this is my box. This is what's, keeping me from being able to do what I want to do. But sometimes you just don't know how to break free. It's not that you want to be sitting in the box or you feel comfortable in the box, but you haven't discovered. And that's why you have to be as an apprentice, right? You have to go in this learning and being willing to receive the information that's going to tell you how to break free from what is restricting you. All right, ooh, the sun just kind of went down on that. The purification that's needed or taking place if you should decide to cross this bridge. So it's a choice normally. But what we just say, if you don't decide to go ahead and cross this bridge, ooh, it might go ahead and enact a crossing for you. So let's be a willful player in this change, right? Because the other thing that we talked about in the beginning of this reading was creating our own obedience, right? So if you created your own obedience, then you know you're going to stick to the plan that you create for yourself, because then you are creating the box. And your box doesn't have to be this big. Your box can be, you know, this big or huge. It could be a big box, but as long as you decide, okay, we're not going this far left, we're not going this far right, we're not going this far up, we're not going this far down, we're not going that far forward, we're not going that far back. Like, each face of the box has to be defined. How big is this box? How much are you willing to change? How much are you willing to move? How big is your box? So the card that came out is balance. We're just going to stop and take a look at this for a moment. We see that there is a lady down here, and like she's holding up this clear picture. We have a pasture, we have a teepee in the fire with a person, we have an animal here, but look at where she's standing at. It's a whole bunch of junk down there. Oh, and it's another person over here. I didn't even see them holding the stuff up, and that's crazy to me that there was so much junk in just so much clutter there that person couldn't even be seen. This is the Justice card in this deck. So again, that's the hammer coming down. Clunk, clunk. The court is adjourned, and whatever decision was made in that court is what's going to be standing, right? So there could be justice coming in your favor. You can be just finally stopping justifying why you haven't. Have you been giving yourself the reason? Let that be the reason why I'm not doing this. Let that be the reason why I'm not doing that. Are you justifying staying in the box that you're not supposed to be in with some reason? You're going to have to uncover those unjust reasons and actually sit with yourself and say why that reason is not serving you. Why am I allowing this to keep me in a box, right? Why am I allowing this to keep me from growing? Why am I allowing this to keep me feeling miserable? Why am I allowing this to keep me from feeling happy? If I just stop doing this, then I can free myself. You know, it might be one thing, it might be two things, it might be 10 things. You might really sit down and go, I'm doing all this. What they say, Albert Einstein, I believe, said, keep repeating this same cycle and hoping for a new outcome. And they call that what? Insanity. Because nothing is going to change if you keep doing the same old thing. So the balance card has come here to tell us that you need to desire this balance. Is it lopsided? You know, the ebb and flow again is the what's coming in too much to be received and not allowing you to produce and put things out. Everything needs to have flow and balance. Masculine energy, feminine energy, The one thing that doesn't necessarily need to be in balance would be good and bad thoughts. So if you're having a whole bunch of bad thoughts, then yes, this is time to wipe them out with good thoughts. A lot of us aren't doing certain things because of fear. We're allowing ourselves to be scared of the unknown. Again, sticking with the familiarity, making it so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. If we really looked at that and what it really is, it's fear. It's fear of whatever might come. But you're not getting the result that you want out of doing what you've been doing. That's what you're failing to look at. Are you really getting the result that you actually wanted, or that you want right now, from doing the stuff that you were doing yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before? If you haven't been getting the result that you want by doing those things, you can't keep doing them and expect the result to change. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the creative focus needed or taking place. And this is in regard to self-expression, the vision or the fantasies that guide you and fill you with enthusiasm for life. Again, a lot of things don't happen for us because we're not putting the right energy into them. We're focused on what happened yesterday, what didn't happen yesterday, scared about what can happen tomorrow. And so because we are not putting the positive spin on what's in front of us, we keep staying stuck or going backwards. So now we got some more Princess energy. This is the Apprentice of Bowls. This is the show me how to love card. Show me how to love, right? How do you open your heart to something new? How do you get out of your own way? Make it to where what you are doing is what you love to do. And so we can look at this card and we can see that this is almost like a mother and a son. So there's that mother's love type of energy that is going to need to be, I love doing this. Why am I not doing this? Like, there's probably so many people in your circle that are actually cheering you on, that you are tuning out, that they like when you talk to them, they're like, oh my gosh, why are you not doing that? They're asking you, and you're not then asking yourself, I don't know, why am I not doing this? Why am I not going there? That country looks beautiful. That water looks beautiful. Oh my gosh, I would love to scale that mountain. What are you waiting for? Because if you're waiting on the opportunity to come to you to look a specific way, it just may never look like that. And then by it never looking like that, you might miss it. So I missed something this year that I really wanted to do because the dots weren't lining up, but I could have went. So what was it? I wanted to see the bluebells. And if you guys are on my Facebook, then you know that I posted a post yesterday asking, is it still bluebell season in San Antonio? So shout out to my friend Katia. She told me that bluebell season ended a couple weeks ago because she lives in Texas. So what was I waiting for? I was waiting for the flight to be the right price. I have a timeshare location in Texas that makes that very accessible to me. So that was always, no problem. They even had a super deal on it. But I was waiting on not only the flight price for that to line up, but I was also trying to square away another trip that I was planning that comes after that trip would have been, and making sure that all my ducks were in a row for that trip. And so everything lined up, but because I had planned the trip after it first, then the points weren't in my account because my account was waiting on them to give me my coupon code and bring my points back to my account, right? So I used this amount of points when it only would have taken this amount of points, but I had to wait for them to systematically put the points back so then I can use these points to book that other trip. And guess what? The gravy price for the flight was out the window. And I'm just one of them people that if it's getting past here, I'm not going. And that's a box I might be putting myself in. If you want to go and you know this is a season and this is the reason, get your butt out there and go when it's time. Like, it missed you. Now you're not even probably going to go to that city the whole rest of this 2023 because you're going to be waiting on that season to pop back up in 2024. That's what I had to sit here and tell myself yesterday. Now that you missed this opportunity, you missed the bus. You missed the bus. Ow. You're going to wait all the way until next year to see what if something happens to that city. See, when I was a little girl, my mom went to New Orleans. Not a little girl, a teenager. And when she sent me all these postcards and she had all of these amazing stories about New Orleans, about the kids with the Coke bottle tops under their shoes, about the pralines and all the different things that we know about New Orleans, the old New Orleans, before Katrina, New Orleans. And she was just telling me how I would love it, would love it, would love it, would love it. And by the time I got there, y'all, it was the year before last. Right after the second major disaster came through. And you could just feel the overwhelming heaviness, the haunting of what it used to be that laid upon what it was on that day. And so things can occur that if you wait, you're going to be too late. Don't think that because a door is open for you right now today, that it's always going to stay that way. So if you love something, you hang on to it. You grab onto it for dear life because this is part of me. This is something that I love. So how do I grow to learn? Because this is another learning process. Learn how to make this thing that I love and I enjoy part of my life. Okay, and then we have that which must be scrutinized for its benefit or interference. So this is determining if this is something that will open a door for you or close a door. It's something that you might just come into during this week, and it's something that you might have already been doing, and how is it affecting you? And this is the seed card, and we did see this card last week. And in this deck, this is the Fool card. So are you taking chances? Are you taking chances? Ask yourself right now, have I been taking chances? Have I been opening myself up to new experiences? Am I singing that song, No New Friends? Or, you know what I'm saying? Am I being open to receiving new people, new ways of thought? Also, are you watering and tending to the seeds that you have planted? You could have manifested millions of beautiful things, and the only reason why they are not coming to fruition is because you forgot about them. You tucked them away for tomorrow because you were focused on yesterday. You didn't want to say goodbye to yesterday. And so the seeds that you were going to plant and put into the ground and start nourishing today, they never got their nourishment. They never even got ripped out the package. They never even got taken out the old plant and dried or put in the wet paper towel to sprout. So are you really either doing something in your mind or in your actions that are causing your seeds not to grow? Are you blaming somebody else? Are you blaming the fact that you gave all your energy and all your time and all your efforts to other people on the reason why you aren't growing? Ooh, because there's a lot of victim consciousness out here in this world. There's a lot of people saying, oh my gosh, I did so much for so many people. I don't have energy left for myself. And I feel like the world is playing that up a little bit too. Like they're actually, you know, saying that to people. Like, you've done enough for other people, now do for yourself. But again, are those people to blame that you left yourself open for them to receive from? Because 9 out of 10 times you knew they weren't giving nothing back, but you allowed yourself to be a vessel for them. So is this your fault? Are you responsible for you being right here, right now? Who's responsible for me being right here, right now? I think that's a question I need to ask myself. Who's responsible for me being right here? What opportunities also are laying right here in front of me that I'm not watering? What is right here at my feet? What is right here in my garden? What is right here that I am neglecting to see because I'm so worried about yesterday? I'm so worried about throwing this blanket on it. Again, we got the same thing coming up. Quit covering up all your goodness with negativity, downplaying, with bad talk, bad thoughts. Even, you know, the people who came into your life, and maybe you aren't saying that this person did this to me, right? But maybe you're saying this person did this and I should have known because let history, you know, are you also blaming yourself? It's okay to take accountability. And it's another thing to force blame upon yourself that then lowers your vibration and makes you feel less than, or makes you feel not good enough, right, to go into the next step, because you have these dummy thoughts that keep coming in. And another thing about the dummy thoughts, y'all, some of them are not even yours. Some of those, yes, are being fed to you by what you're watching, by what you're eating, by what you're doing in your everyday life, because it's about exposure and what you are exposing yourself to. So you can't really, you know, feel the good vibes if you're sitting up watching a whole bunch of people fighting with each other on TV all the time. How are you expecting the people in your life to show up peaceful when you're feeding yourself with a whole bunch of drama from outside sources all day long? So what are you feeding yourself? Are you eating things that are good for your blood type, that are good for your lifestyle, that are good for your body type? Are you doing exercise or movements, or just, you know, whatever it is for physical activity that you do that is right for your lifestyle, your body type, for your age? Because age is a mental state, right? So I know I'm this number, but I don't have to feel that number, right? What are you doing in your life that is not, you know, allowing these seeds to grow? And for a lot of people, it's just mental. It's really like, I'm placing blame. I'm letting this be the reason. And I just stopped. I got tired. Because we get tired. But if you get so tired that you give up, nothing that you just lay there and think about can happen. You have to be still enough of a warrior to say that I'm gonna fight for me. I'm not gonna fight with this, that, or them. But I'm gonna fight myself. When myself says lay down for 2 more hours, I'm gonna say, no, self, we not doing that today. We about to get up and we gonna go get on this yoga mat. We gonna go sit in this sunshine. We gonna at least get up and move from this spot right here. When I say I'm about to call in for the 3rd time this week and ain't nothing really wrong with me, no, we not doing that. I'm going to get up here because this is the job that I committed myself to doing. And if I don't want to do it, I need to recommit myself to something different, right? So you're going to have to talk to yourself in a manner that says, cut the bullshit. We're not doing that. This is not what we're doing anymore. Get up, get out, make change. All right. And the last card that we have is that what you must act on with devotion and to which you must give your most unselfish love. And it is the Sun card, the Rebirth card. And we see that new baby right there. Do you need to treat yourself like a baby? Like, do you need to really, are you touching your skin? Are you getting in the mirror and saying, hey, boo, you cute? Are you loving on yourself the way that you need to be loving on yourself to even feel good enough to step outside and let somebody else lay their eyes on you and tell you, oh, that's such a cute dress. Ooh, I like them shoes. Hey, I see what you did there. Like, are you willing to do that for the person who's, your mind just told you, ooh, her dress is cute. Are you willing to tell her, hey, that just said, hey, oh, his kicks is live. Are you willing to tell him? Are you willing to open yourself up? Are you willing? And then are you willing to nourish yourself like a baby needs to be nourished? Because again, that's sort of like that discipline. It doesn't have to feel like strict and like paddle beating or, you know, I'm doing this like a stick. Like, it doesn't have to be that type of discipline. It can be a soft, loving, nurturing type of discipline, because a lot of us don't respond positively to that hard discipline. So if you are saying, I don't feel like getting up, maybe you can't say to yourself, oh, no, you better get your tail up out this bed because that's not what we're doing. Maybe you can't say that. Maybe you have to say, honey, you have to love yourself enough to know that this is not where you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to be in this bed for 10 hours of this day. You're not supposed to be in this house with all these lights off in darkness and all the curtains drawn for 12 hours a day. You're not supposed to be in this car going to wherever you're trying to go to that doesn't serve you right now. Do you remember what happened last time we went here? Please don't go there. You might have to talk to yourself like that. What is your love language? You have to know what your love language is in order to, you know, correct your own action. But give yourself whatever it is that you need so that you can stop doing whatever it is that wasn't serving you yesterday that you have brought into today. So we're going to pull one Moonology card, and it's just going to give us a little affirmation that we can hopefully recite during the week of the 2nd through the 8th. You can start it now. You can say it with me because I'm going to probably repeat it a few times. And just let it be what carries you into this rebirth, into this new energy, and what, you know, nourishes your mind. It says, confidence is your key to success. Confidence is my key to success. Confidence is my key to success. Confidence is my key to success. What does that mean? Confidence is the key. What do keys do? Keys open doors. Keys make a way out of no way. This is me saying I believe in myself so hard that I'm going to get stuff that I didn't even know that I could get. Like, I'm going to go in here with this 585 credit score and I'm going to ask for this 2% interest rate and I'm going to get it. Like, make it grandiose and logically unbelievable, but there's something a glitch in the system. Maybe they connected you somehow to your mama's credit, like, and you show that you didn't have credit for 30 years and you ain't but 32 years old, but your mama got A1 credit and you about to get that 2% interest on that, you know what I'm saying, loan that you just applied for. Like, be confident in whatever it is that you decide to do. Be confident in whatever room you decide to enter. Do you see this yellow glowing light again? We have this fearless lion. We got that fire energy again. Sagittarius full moon coming up this weekend. What can you do to light that glow Is your glow flickering? Have you been coming in and out? Is it dim? What can you do to change the way that you are showing up when you enter the room? And then there is a full moon, or no, it's a new moon actually with a little sliver here. So two, that might be saying it's saying to me, practice this all the way from the full moon to the new moon. Practice having confidence in the mirror. Practice what you're going to say when you meet someone new. Practice. It's okay. It's not crazy to talk to yourself. Like when you are talking to yourself, you're just nourishing orally what is already playing inside your head. And even if the words never come out your head, like we've said, those are mantras and affirmations. We just aren't saying them out loud. So you saying it to yourself is not bad. Make sure that whatever you are saying to yourself is uplifting yourself and bringing confidence, because confidence is what? Confidence is key. Confidence is key to making this happen. If you don't believe in yourself, like they say, nobody else can or will. So you must make sure that you are believing in yourself. One last card and then we're going to get out of here. While I'm pulling this card, I just want to remind you all that I am doing personal readings and that my schedule and my availability is posted at readings.ibeflawless.com. There is the link to that on the Facebook Live that you are seeing right now that you can click on and see what the availability is. I don't know if I still have one question readings up there. If I don't, I'll probably add them back. But at this point in time, there's 30-minute or 60-minute readings on there. And they are live readings. Like, you gonna see me and I'm gonna see you unless you otherwise choose to have it a different way. And I utilize Zoom to do that. So if you haven't given this video a thumbs up and you're still here, please do that. Put some hearts on it, just depending on where you are at. If you're not following me, don't have those bells ring, make sure to change that so that when I am live, you can catch the message from the beginning. All right, so we have The Little One Rises, card number 18. So it's a 9, which again depicts the end of a cycle, which is right in alignment with this being full moon energy that starts, just will be finishing up right before the beginning of this week. So it might be like the little cleanup that needs to happen. I think this is important that it's saying little one, because all of the cards that we pulled were apprentice cards, right? So we are going back to a learning situation. We're going back to that childhood energy. We are going back to what really makes us happy in a childlike way, like something that we can really get into it because we love to do it. So let's see what this card says. The 18 card again, which is The Little One Rises. Where are we at, y'all? I'm already there. Okay. I see nurture and protect the small starts. Small starts. It doesn't have to be a huge, grandiose gesture. Do you know that one little change is enough to make the course start going this way when it was going that way, right? I see nurture and protect the small starts, the new ideas and projects that are just beginning to come to life now. I see the potential in them, how they can grow into fullness, and I lift them with my grace above all interference into full flight. Divine timing and my grace shall bring growth and success to these small starts. Keep attending to the small matters, beloved, for from those seeds, great gardens are going to manifest. All right, so we talked about those seeds. And if there's small things that you can do to lead to something big, then go ahead and this week make a list of all of those small things so that you can start checking them off. So this one doesn't have a in the reading. Yes, it does. If you are feeling too small, unequal, to a task or unworthy of a dream, think again. Seek the sanctuary of the Divine Mother's protection, your heart, and give your attention time to gather energy naturally, okay? As it will from the love in your heart and your continued hope, prayers, and receptivity to guidance. Okay, so again, we got that Apprentice of Bowls card. So when it said from the love in your heart, so love in your heart is like sunshine, right? So if you got a seed that you planted that's not, actually a seed in the ground, the love in your heart is like the sunshine that you are feeding it, right? And then your continued hope is the water that you are putting on this seed. Your prayers and receptivity to guidance, just breathe. Sit back, know that you've watered it, know that you've given it enough light, and breathe and let it come to fruition. That speaks volumes, because for some people it's the doing too much that has been holding you back, versus those who I kind of really gathered in this reading and spoke about during the reading is allowing something to not flourish because you weren't watering it, you weren't putting. But if you have been putting the sunlight on it, your love, and you have been going ahead and giving it the water that it needs, then breathe, or even if you haven't been doing those things and you do them now, make sure you remember to breathe. There's like a rebound period or a residual period that occurs after we do everything that we do, to where even though we are not putting direct energy on it, the residual energy that we did put on it, when we put it on it, is still there. You have to be smart enough to know, okay, it can't still be getting energy off of that blah 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 that I put on it, so maybe I should go do something to replenish it, right? You have to be smart enough to know when you got to take and cross the next thing off the list, right? Cross the next thing off the list. But don't just keep focusing on, okay, I did this and what's the results of this. No, go to the next task and go to the next task and go to the next task. And then if you get down here and you realize, okay, what I thought was going to happen in response to this task didn't happen, then maybe revisit that task at that time. And if it's one of those things that where it's like dominoes, it's like a ricochet effect, like these can't fall over unless this one falls over, then okay, you might have to do something different. And that's where, again, you're going to put that apprentice hat on and you're going to learn how to approach it in a different manner so that, it can tip over and cause that chain reaction. If you have already brought a project to life or have been working in a business, you are about to experience expansion. This may be, claim that, claim that, claim that. I'm gonna read it again. I want you to say right now, I claim that. If you have already brought a project to life or have been working in a business, you are about to experience expansion. This may be through an investor or benefactor. What we say, we got that $5.95, but we about to get that $7.80 benefit, okay? Through a small idea and change in attitude or method that brings a high degree of return on your investment. And that's what, if you feel like your seeds have not been producing new seeds, like it was a seed, it made a beautiful flower, but it didn't have no more seeds. A lot of us got there, right? Because we were making flowers for other people's gardens and we didn't know it. So then we looking for the seeds to fall off from them plants and start something in our own garden, but they being planted in other gardens. That is okay. Don't turn it into something negative. A high degree of return on your investment or through some other fortuitous change by your own hand and divine grace. If you have a child or loved one that seems to be the underdog at the moment or is being bullied in any way, specific message there, teach them lessons of courage. Teach the one you love. They are worthy and can call on divine guidance. So for some people, that just means that it's really not your battle that's keeping you on the warrior field, right? It's the love that you do have for someone, you just don't know how to tell them or teach them how to deal with this situation because you've never been in this situation yourself before. So it's like a new stomping ground for you. And you keep trying to come up with reasons or keep coming up with ways to try and help this person that you love to grow. A lot of what I've learned on my last cycle is that you can't tell people how to grow. You can't tell them what you know and what you've experienced. You just have to show them. So it's harder said than done when you yourself are not being put in situations that they are being put in, but somehow you might have to figure out a way to step into their shoes. And don't tell them what you would do if you were in their shoes, because you are not them. You're going to have to step into their shoes so you become one with their mind. And what would they do if they were their strongest, most courageous, loving self? What would they do really in response to this? Because that will light their fire. You can tell them that, but you can't tell them how you responded when it happened to you or how you went through it when it was your time. That means nothing to the next person. You are you, I am me. What you do and I do is two different things. So if you are here finishing up a step that actually is, it's part of your garden. Like, and here they said it's your children, they're extensions of you. So you're still nourishing your own garden when you are nourishing your children. How do you go ahead and then expand their reach? You got to get in their shoes. You can't direct them from your shoes and think that it's going to work for them. Only if they're that much like you will it work. If they are someone who is very much different and goes about things much differently than you do, then you're going to have to allow yourself to get in those shoes. It's standing out to me right now, the memory of Red Fox playing Sanford. And he said he could have on that hair with that bald spot in the top, that beard, the sweater, the whole outfit. But until he put them shoes on, he wasn't Fred Sanford. Okay, so you got to get in them shoes and you got to teach them what they would do in their situation, which is a very, very hard task. Let's see. Teach someone you love they are worthy and can call on divine guidance. Oh, you don't have to call on me. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to mirror me. You don't have to do what I do or what I say. But you better look to your higher power. You better look to your higher self. What would the higher you do in this situation? And if they don't know, how do you help them connect to their higher source? Learn to see the strength in them and give them the courage to do the same for themselves. Stand your ground and honor your right to respect yourself. And if another cannot do so, treat them with compassion, but on the understanding that this is their issue to resolve if they choose, and that you will not indulge in it out of some false sense of kindness. There's different ways to go about doing that too. You have the understanding of how valuable you are, your presence is, your energy is, all of that. So when you know your worth and your power is activated, when this person is coming at you sideways, it's not going to feel the same. Because I know you can do better with me than you can do without me. And not in a smug way, just in an honest way. That's okay. You know, you can make me the enemy. You can make me the bad guy. And you don't have to say it to them. This is you knowing. Just walk away silently, because the information is going to come back to you. Did it go left or right when they decided that it was all your fault and you were to blame? I had to learn myself to quit expecting me out of other people very recently, especially, and love you, those that I birthed. Right? They still aren't me. They are not all me. They got some of somebody else's genes in them. So the way that they react or the thing that's right for them to do in that situation may not be what's right for me to do. So I had to go ahead and just say, but it's affecting me and it's making me be a responsible party in this situation. So what do I have to do to make myself feel secure? What do I have to do to make sure that I'm protected? Quit doing it for them. Do it for you. Even though it might help them, do it for you if that's the case. All right, so we got just a little bit more here to go. And it says, it can be hard to break the cycle, but it can be done. You will have the strength to overcome it. The Divine Mother is helping you and will prevail. Nurture your strength of spirit deep in your heart, and when you are ready, take action. Okay, so I'll be back live tomorrow for a shorter amount of time because we already know the gist of this bridge. And of course, it seems similar to last week's bridge because it's a bridge. It's connected. So what you're doing right now, today, is going to influence what happens in your life next week, right? So we're going to tomorrow look at the guidance portion of this reading, and then we'll look at the healing process on Saturday when I come on. Again, these are going to also be reposted both here and on YouTube, so you can watch them at any time. If you missed any bits and pieces of it, you can wind it back and watch it from the beginning. I know it was long, but I do thank all of you who stopped through, waved, left a comment, and I actually, don't see comments here on my screen on Facebook, and I'm a little bit nervous, so that's telling me how to leave a comment, but not really to see them. Maybe I can click on it. But anyway, at any rate, we'll be back tomorrow and we're going to take this to the next level. If you didn't do the tasks that were to be done this week, maybe listen to the videos that I posted last Friday and Saturday so that you can carry out those tasks. They will really put you in a position so that when this full moon comes, you know what it is, the energy that you're focusing on, and then now what you need to do to get to this place, because there's a breach coming, and either you're breaking the cycle or the cycle is being broke for you. I would really hope that you find the courage and the strength within yourself to break the cycle yourself and not let it be broken for you. I am Miss Indigo Blue. I thank you so much for tuning in to this message. I'm going to leave you with my mantra before I get out of here, which is, when it gets hectic, don't forget, I've got it. You've got it. We've got it. The power. You can do anything and everything you set your mind to with your power, may it be for your greatest good or your greatest other. I love you. I thank you so much for spending any moment of time that you did with me here, and I will see you here again next time. Namaste.